Hey guys, I'm Kira here at the Henson Zoo, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about our Biofact boxes. So you guys may have seen these boxes either at booths here around the zoo if you've been here, or if you've been to any of our Zoo to You encounters, you may have seen us also bring these along. And what they do is that they allow for a multisensory experience for the general public to learn about animals. And what I mean by that is while someone like me or another volunteer is kind of educating you and teaching you about various animal facts and conservation status, while you were listening to that, you get the chance to kind of see up close and feel up close various aspects of an animal, such as its fur, maybe what its paws feel like, what their skulls look like, and various other information that's kind of tied to some miscellaneous objects. So with a lot of the aspects we have in our Biofact boxes, such as skulls or pelts or even paws, what we want to make sure is that these are naturally and ethically sourced so that when an animal passes away, it can still help to educate without causing harm to the animal. So for example, if an animal, say, dies of natural causes, we would use its pelt to help kind of educate the public about what maybe its fur feels like, or what its teeth look like, or what its paws can do. So what we have here in front of me is actually aspects of our river otter Biofact box. And before I touch on the main things, such as the pelt or the skull, I do want to touch on the two things here that aren't directly tied to a river otter. And first up here, we have these two plugs. And basically why we have these in here is to kind of help educate and emphasize the point that river otters have this adaptation that allows them to plug up their nose and ears when they're underwater so that they can hold their breath and stay underwater for much longer. And then here we have this flipper as a way to kind of show and emphasize the point that river otters have this webbing in their paws that allows them to swim faster in the water, such as a fin would help us swim faster underwater. Next, what we have here is the river otter's pelt, and this came from an actual river otter that, as I said before, had died of natural causes. And what we use this for is to kind of help people get a sense of not only the size of what American river otters look like, but also to kind of actually feel what the fur is like and help them learn that these guys have some of the most dense fur in the animal kingdom, and also kind of feel that they have 2 layers of fur, which helps keep them warm, as there's an air pocket in between those 2 layers that allows for warm air to reside. So another aspect that we have in here is a river otter skull. And skulls are really helpful in these Biofact boxes because they help people get a sense of the primary senses of these animals, and also kind of a sense of what their diet might be based on the way their teeth are structured. So in the case of the river otter here, what you're looking at is you can tell through the skull that they have these really large ocular cavities, and this is very beneficial to them because it allows them to see really well under the water. And then here with the teeth, what you can see is that they have these really long and sharp canines, and these are designed to help them pierce into soft, slippery prey like fish that they usually will hunt. And finally, with the teeth, what you can also see through an otter's skull is that they have these really sharp and really large molars, and these actually help them to crush the hard shells of other prey such as crabs or crustaceans that they find. And finally, what I want to touch on that we have inside this river otter Biofact box is these paw molds here and these paws themselves. Now the paw molds are more so primarily to allow guests to kind of get a sense of scale as to how big their paws are compared to their own if they'd like. And then meanwhile with paws like this, it allows them to kind of get a sense of what the webbing in their paws that I mentioned earlier looks like, and also get a good look at their claws that they have. And an interesting fact about river otter claws is that they are actually non-retractable. And this is actually different than sea otters who have retractable claws. And that's primarily due to the fact that river otters will use those non-retractable claws to help climb out of slippery surfaces on land, such as a muddy bank or a snowy area. And fun fact, river otters are actually really big fans of snow, and they will actually be seen sledding around on their bellies. Now, you can see the river otter Biofact box, as well as the many other Biofact boxes we have of other animals, here at the zoo once we open up in April.